death, that is also divine, Lord Yama or Kali. So we deify everything. Why? Because that is the only way, the only alambanam through which you can attain to the highest. Thank you. Any questions? Yes.
So maybe what is the essential difference between the various branches of Indian philosophy?
Wow. This is not a question. It is an invitation to a series of lectures. But anyway, there is essential difference.
Particularly, I am curious between Sankhya Yoga and Vedanta, because they seem very similar to me.
Okay, Sankhya, Sankhya has got dual. It is a dualistic philosophy. Mainly, it says that there is Prakriti and Purusha, and Yoga also says the same thing. See, these are twin philosophies: Sankhya Yoga, Nyaya Vaisheshika, and Uttara Mimamsa and Purva Mimamsa. Purva Mimamsa, Uttara Mimamsa. This is the basic difference, that they posit more than one reality, and Advaita Vedanta does not do that. Or rather, Vedanta does not do that. That's the only basic difference. But
usually, Yoga and Vedanta have been very closely...
No. Shankaracharya said that for the purpose of controlling your senses and mind, you can adopt the techniques of Patanjali, but not philosophically.
Maharaj, sometimes it is not really related to this. Sometimes it happens. Suppose I am somewhere and someone is just behaving extremely badly. Suppose someone is taking food and I am finding that someone is really cursing him or her. So I know this, he or she is also Brahman, and someone is trying to push her back. So how to tackle those situations?
First of all, he or she is not Brahman. It is not that I am Brahman, you are Brahman, or that other person is Brahman. Only Brahman is. Now, I got the point what you are telling. What you are telling is actually the divinity is there in that person also, true.
And
but then
someone is really saying that, suppose someone is sweeper, I am saying that, oh, you are a sweeper. But I am finding it very bad that someone is saying to him. And because to me, he is also Brahman.
Yes. So,
and then how to tackle those situations?
Yeah, there are two things. One thing is that do you feel weak, and do you feel, what do you say, do you feel somehow going down by even listening to or being witness to this incident? You feel weak. If you feel so, then you have to, in the proper polite manner, tell what is what. Because that person may be doing a wrong thing, but then you have to protest in a polite manner. That is one thing. And second thing is, by doing so, you are actually helping the other person to bring the potential divinity outside. The person who is telling another person that you are a driver or you are a janitor or whatever, by telling that you cannot tell a person like that, by saying so, you are trying to also bring the person to a higher level of thinking, and that is good. Instead of not telling anything just for social norms and then cribbing about it, it is best to politely tell and then be happy about it, if you can be. Because this is a very big problem.
Maybe it is because there is some, in our thinking process also, there is some kind of duality.
No, it is there. Our thinking process itself is based on duality.
There is a duality.
Yes,
because,
yes.
We think through mind, we think through intellect. Okay. So maybe this kind of, we want to evaluate everything.
No.
Whenever we want to evaluate something, there will be some kind of duality in our thinking.
No, actually the point what she says comes, I think it comes from a different point altogether. It is that when I see a colored person being discriminated, when I see a woman being discriminated, should I speak or not? That's what.
I should speak, obviously, it seems to me, but as he or she is also brown. So
No, that's all right. But the point is, you see, what even Swami Vivekananda's case, once Swami Vivekananda was in America, and then somebody, he went to a restaurant and he was not allowed, no? And then a person who was accompanying him said that you can tell that you are not a Negro or you are not a African American, that is the proper word today. So you can tell. So Swami Vivekananda said, no. What? Rise at the expense of other? Never. So I will not do something and get advantage which my brother fellow does not have. This is the idea. So the moment you try to, you see, at all levels it has to be, intellectual, social level also. The moment you try to think that only one reality exists, not two, so how can you bring in distinctions? It is not possible. And this confusion, because of our upbringing, comes in the mind of Shankaracharya also. That is why we find the wonderful verse, Manisha Panchakam. When Shankaracharya, when taking bath, that is how the story goes, because we do not know what exactly happened. The first authorized biography was written when there was nobody to authorize it. So it was written 500 years after Shankaracharya, so which is called Shankara Digvijaya by Madhva Vidyaranya. So there it is written that when Shankaracharya comes out from the Ganga, from the ghats of Ganga, he sees a person, a Chandala, outcast. He is not belonging to the four castes, he is the outcast, Chandala. And then he says, Gacha, Gacha. He says, go away, go away. And when he says, go away, he has got this Brahminical upbringing in him. You know, upper caste mentality. And he forgets that he is the propounder of Advaita Vedanta. So the Chandala asks the question that Annamayad Annamayam Athava Chaitanyameva Chaitanyat. What do you want to go away? From what? Do you want the body to go away from the body? There is no difference. What is the difference between the body and body? Your body also have the same dirty stuff and my body also. Or you want the consciousness to move away from the consciousness. Again, there is no difference. So what are you wanting to move away from? Says that Chandala Vati Paya means Chandala. Chandalas, usually Chandala does this skinning, removes the skin of animals. So the drain which is flowing through along the Chandala's house is full of filth because of the skin and all that flesh. So that Chandala Vatipaya or Ganga Ambudi or Ganga, holy Ganges, both show the same sun. Does sun change in this gutter or does it change in the Ganges? It doesn't. So there again Shankaracharya has understood, oh no, I have done a big mistake. He actually does pranam. And because this was written by again people who were having a great caste mentality, they somehow changed the Chandala finally to Shiva. So Swami Ranganathananda in his discourse on this very Manisha Panchakam, it's available as a book also, Adi Shankaracharya and Untouchable. He says that this is a politics again. Because it could have been a Chandala. In India, I will give you another example. Swami Gambhirananda, once he was walking with his sevak and he finds what? A newspaper fellow. We have all seen this common example, common incident. He is cycling and while on the cycle he is throwing the newspaper and it goes and falls correctly on the balcony. So he sees that he is doing it for several times and is coming and he is walking. So he said, how did you do that? He just asked the newspaper fellow. And the newspaper fellow, what does he say? What does he say? What does he say? Abhyasena tu kaunteya. He actually said this. He says Abhyasena tu kaunteya. So Gambhiranji was understood. See, a newspaper boy, he knows Gita. Religion lives in India. He says Abhyasena tu kaunteya. So Gambhiranji told his sevak, you see, this fellow also knows. So it is very possible. Now, today our newspaper fellow knows. So those days, probably they knew better. Swami Vivekananda says, in our country, religion is the backbone of my country. You ask even a farmer, a peasant will tell that a person went to represent Hinduism in the Parliament of Religions in Chicago. So that is India. So why could not a Chandala question Shankaracharya? He could have definitely questioned. But Swami Ranganathanji says that because again this upper class mechanism was there, so it has suddenly when he did pranam, he saw that it was Shiva. Because Shankaracharya cannot do pranam to Chandala, no, blasphemy. Anyway, so apart that, then he says, Jagrat Swapna Sushuptishu Sputatara Yasam Vid Ujjrumbate. It's a wonderful piece of work. If you have time, you can study. So this is what? This social construct is there. Even at that level we should think of going beyond distinctions. Even at that level we should think of bridging barriers. Because there is no barrier. Unless you bring it alambanam, unless this concept of Advaita is there in all spheres of your life, intellectual, emotional, spiritual, intellectual also. I have this philosophy but I will not, some people are simply closed systems. You talk to them, they will not listen. They have a set theory, concrete theory, and it is like totally reinforced concrete. Nothing will get into their brain. So if you are true Advaitin, should be open. That is the idea. At all levels, emotional, intellectual, spiritual, even physical, you are open. And then you alambanam, you hold on to this concept of non-duality. And definitely, ihaiva tairjita sarga. In this very life, you will give up or you will be freed from this attachment or bondage. Yeah.
Maharaj, Shankaracharya was knowing that this world is mithya, it is not real.
Yes.
Then why was so much bother about bonding this Advaita theory? Means whether
No, Shankaracharya came with a purpose for a mission. He was a prophet.
This purpose, because the world is not real, so whether it is this way or that way.
No. Shankaracharya knew, but you and me don't know. So he came here to give us a methodology so that we also know. As simple as that. No. It's like asking, why did somebody invent the iPod? Because the person was happy using iPod, so he thought, okay, let me share the wisdom. Yes?
Like in the other philosophies, out of those 6 philosophies, it's like what you said about Purusha and Prakriti. In some form, sometimes they say Shiva and Shakti.
No.
Is it the same thing? Or?
No. They are different. Purusha and Prakriti, it's a different philosophy. When you say other philosophies, that itself is a very dangerous way of putting it. Because other philosophies means philosophies are all, some are South Pole, some are North Pole. So you can't tell, when you become philosophical, things become very complicated, you see. That's why most of the philosophers have a spectacle. I am not a philosopher. No, it becomes complicated. Then there are 40 schools of Advaita Vedanta. In Advaita Vedanta, there are 40 schools. So they will then, this is not there, this is not there. Philosophical thing becomes very complicated. Experiential thing, how do you practice it? Quite simple. Truth, you speak truth, don't hurt others, kind of. So, Purusha and Prakriti is different. Yoga, Sankhya, usually they are considered non-theistic philosophy. Means they don't believe in God. So your Shiva Shakti does not come there. In fact, this Shakti, Shiva, they are part of Vedanta. What is called this Shaktism or there's a big school of thought, Shaivism. There are Spanda Karika, that's a big, which was developed much down south and also in Kashmir Shaivism. So that loosely forms part of Vedanta. That's also loosely, because some things they tell it totally goes outside the philosophical construct. You can read a book called Critical Survey of Indian Philosophy by Chandradhar Sharma. It's a good book, huh?
Question. This Advaita Vedanta says that world is a dream. And in dream actually we see all funny things, but in this world they are not.
You don't see funny things. First of all, I have something to contest. Who said that in dream you see only funny things? First. Second, don't you see funny things in the world? That you are asking me this question itself is very funny. So,
What is the name of the book, Chandradhar Sharma?
A Critical Survey of Indian Philosophy. It's published by Motilal Banarsidass, if I am not completely wrong. Available on Flipkart.
Some confusion. Does Advaita means negating the existence of duality, or seeing unity in
Neither.
the underlying unity in
Neither. It does not mean either or neither. Or it does not neither.
Then
Because
what does it mean? Then what does it mean?
it's actually going beyond these things. The moment you say you negate the duality in the sense of negating something, this is not there. I say the bag is there, it is not there. Both imply the existence or non-existence of this. Are you getting my point? It becomes a little complicated. Actually, Swami Vivekananda says it's a statement of fact. That is why Sat, Asat, Advaita, Vedanta, Vivek Chudamani, they will say, it is there, it is not there, and you cannot explain it. Maya or the world is just a statement of facts. You cannot explain it. Ignorance cannot be explained. So the moment you say that it is not there, you are actually giving it a positive kind of statement. You cannot. So instead of harping about this universe, what one tries to do is tell about oneself. Instead of telling whether this is there or not there, I said that I am there. I totally ignore it. That is what I do. I totally ignore it. For me it is neither not there, neither there. I cannot say it is not Sat, it is not Asat. It is not entity, it is not non-entity also. It is not existing, it is not existing also. It is not anything. What I do is, instead of telling that, I say that I am there. That is the Advaitic methodology. And to do that, what I do is, there are two, their negation is there, but in a different sense. Neti neti. One is, what am I? Am I this mobile? No, I am not this mobile. Am I this mic? I am not this mic. Am I this body? I am not this body. That negative. Another one is saying that, am I this mobile? Yes, I am this mobile. That is also a method. It can be confusing. Why? Because if rope is not there, snake will not be there. If I, as the Brahman, was not there, how can I see this mobile? Or why mobile will be there? So this mobile, that is why Swami Turiyananda, almost when he was about to die, he said, usually we say in Advaita Vedanta, Brahma Satya Jagat Mithya. So Turiyananda said, Brahma Satya Jagat Satya. Jagat Mithya is true. As we see it, it is false. As this many, it is false. But Jagat is there as Brahman. Because unless Brahman was there, unless the rope was there, you see, snake is not totally false. Are you getting the point? Snake is not totally false. If it had been totally false, it is not like Alika, means it is not some fanciful thing. Example given in the scriptures are horn of a hare, rabbit. Rabbits cannot have horns. So this is not like the horn of a rabbit. It is there. It is very palpable. But at the same time it is not true. So why? Because you are seeing some, this is what it is optical illusion actually. It is optical illusion. That is, something is there, but you are seeing it in a wrong way. This is not what you are seeing. Like the 7 colors we put in a disc and rotate it, it becomes white. But there are 7 colors. Similarly, this is an optical illusion. That is what this is. That's what this is. So it is there. So similarly, snake is there, rope is there, darkness is there, so you see snake. But if nothing was there, you put on the light, nothing would have been there. But there you say the rope. You see the rope. And also, snake is also not there. Why? Because when snake is there, you call this bean wala, that madari, and you do this and nothing happens, that is remaining. Or you put carbolic acid or something, nothing happens, still that is remaining. You take a rod and try to beat it, nothing happens, it is remaining. So that means it is not snake. But at the same time, something is there. So that is what? This world is there, not as we see it.
So what does Advaita Vedanta prescribe for liberation, that is to gain the supreme truth?
Remove ignorance.
So how to do that?
That's what we are talking about.
No, as in like continuously meditating on this.
First things first. First we need to have a very strong moral, ethical base. First start speaking truth. Try to do things which are positive and give you strength in the proper sense of the term. Do not injure people. Also have patience. Try to forbear. All these things. Concentrate. Do these things which are quite simple for you. Do them and then slowly, because what we need is to remove the rubbish. Once the rubbish is removed, truth is always there, it will shine. Like sun example, clouds are there, remove the clouds, sun is always there.
And in Mahabharata, while this Arjuna was not ready to fight, then Krishna told him that you have to just you have right to do karma only. You don't need to bother about the outcome of those karma. Results. But while it comes to do the badha of this Duryodhana, then he had to do some trick. While he asked them to do, but they told that this is not a dharma. But he told that, but they, Krishna explained him that why you have to do this. But for the general person with whom Krishna is not there, how he will decide that?
First of all, that is why confusion will be removed. First you understand that Mahabharata is not the scripture in that sense. It is not Shruti. It is Itihasa. So not everything can be taken from Mahabharata, because there is really very weird stuff in Mahabharata. If you read the 1 lakh shloka, or even if you see the B.R. Chopra version, there is so much of gadbad. So you cannot take everything. And you have to take from the Shruti only. Smriti, Swami Vivekananda very clearly says, where there is a conflict between Shruti and Smriti, go for the Shruti. So wherever you will see that there is some conflict, safely go for the Shruti. And if Lord Krishna comes and tells you, then if you are very sure Lord Krishna is there, you can also call me. Then we can think.
With them, Lord Krishna not there.
No, if suppose Lord Krishna is going to come to you, you can also call me, then we can think whether to do or not.
Gita is taken as a Shruti or Smriti?
Gita is because it is from Mahabharata, it is Smriti. Yes. You had something to ask? Yes.
Sir, you said that we should start behaving more morally and ethically. But should morality come as a consequence of the society we live in, or from the human nature of ourselves?
Anything which is selfish is immoral, and anything which is unselfish is moral. So it will change from context to context. Here if you kiss somebody, it is, you know what it is. And if in some other parts of the world, if you do not kiss somebody, that is considered very rude, and so it depends. So the criteria is that it should be unselfish. Okay, thank you.